Hi Libra, this is your Vedic Astrology forecast for the month of December 2014. And just a quick reminder, Vedic Astrology uses the moon sign as a reference point for transits as opposed to the sun sign, which Western astrology uses. So if you're not sure where your moon sign is in Vedic astrology or your ascendant, because you could also look at transits through the ascendant, then visit my website and you can generate your Vedic chart and then find out where your moon and ascendant are in Vedic astrology. Now, the beginning of the month, you're going to have Sun and Mercury transiting your second house of Scorpio. Mercury is going to be there until December 12th, and the Sun's going to be there until December 15th. And they're going to be transiting the nakshatra of Jesta. And the meaning of this nakshatra is the elder. And the Shakti is the power to conquer, the power to rise, and the power to overcome. Now, with the Sun transiting this house and Mercury, this is a very good placement for financial gains, for wealth, for income. Saturn and Jupiter are already supporting this because Saturn is a yoga karaka for you. A yoga karaka basically is a planet that holds the status of Raja Yoga all by himself. It's a planet that rules both an angle and a trine in a person's chart. In your case, Saturn rules the 4th and 5th house, so he happens to be a lucky planet for you. Saturn is still Saturn, but because of the rulership of the houses that he owns, he brings good luck materialistically. So with Saturn already transiting your second house, he's bringing in that good luck as his 5th house rulership. And then you have the Sun ruling the 11th house in your chart, which is another house of gains. And then you have Mercury transiting along with Sun and Saturn in the second house. Mercury rules your 9th house. So there you have a classical Dana Yoga in Vedic astrology. A Dana Yoga is a combination of planets that suggest wealth. And in your case, you have Sun, Mercury, Saturn, and the Sun rules the 5th, the Saturn rules the 5th, the Sun rules the 11th, the Mercury rules the 9th. They're all placed in your second house. This is going to be a wonderful, excellent, beneficial time for you, the beginning of the month, in terms of wealth. If you're trying to make that investment, if you have a business, this is going to be a good time. Now, in terms of investments, I would still take a look at your own natal chart just to make sure that it supports that. The transit is definitely supporting it. But don't take any high risks, just in case, in your natal chart, there might be something else that might be, obstructing it. But for the most part, generally speaking, for most of you, this is going to be a very good time financially. Now, because Mercury also rules the 12th house, he's going into your second house, there may still be some expenses, but of course, they're going to, it might, because you're just making good money at this time or things are going well for you, you might have that luxury to spend money. So go ahead and treat yourself, definitely. Now, their Sun's going to be in the nakshatra of Jesta. And the symbol of Jesta is a circular talisman or earrings or an earring. So, if you're going to treat yourself, then one of the things that you can get for yourself is a circular talisman, because that's what it represents. Sun's going to be transiting this house. It's going to be a good transit for gains. So definitely, why not take advantage of that? Now, because the Sun rules the 11th house and Sun's going to be transiting this nakshatra of Jesta, this is going to be a very good time for you to communicate. This is going to be a good time for networking, for using your authority in your own domain, in, networking, in teaching, in expanding your leadership abilities through speech, through communication, because the second house has to do with speech, with words, with verbal communication. And with Sun transiting here, Jesta is a nakshatra that, the meaning of it is the elder. So this nakshatra has a huge affinity with leadership qualities, with being the elder, with having authority. Now with Sun transiting this nakshatra, Sun naturally has those qualities, and so there's going to be a very good good vibe for you in terms of using your speech to gain some affluence, to bring affluence into your life, and to just expand your networking. This is going to be a very good time for that. After the 15th, the Sun will be moving into the sign of Sagittarius, which is your third house, along with Mercury. And the Sun is going to be in the nakshatra of Mula. Now, the meaning of this nakshatra is the root, and the Shakti is the power to destroy. This nakshatra has a lot of similarity to 8th house significations. This nakshatra happens to be at the center of the Milky Way, if you're looking at it from our perspective. And so this nakshatra symbolizes and it signifies getting to the core of things, getting to the center of things, because the meaning of it is the root. So it signifies getting to the root of the matter, looking beneath the surface of things. And therefore this nakshatra is associated with secret knowledge, hidden knowledge, with deep research, conducting research, investigating secret things. And because the third house has to do with our own efforts, things that we work for, things that we expend our efforts for. It's the 11th house from the 5th, and the 5th house is a house of intelligence, of acquiring knowledge. It's a house of having the good luck of getting getting scriptures in our possession, so that we may gain wisdom in that way. And so because the third house is 11th from the 5th house, it is a good house to expend energy, to use our own efforts to gain wisdom related to 5th house, which is it's one of the spiritual houses. The 9th house is a spiritual house as well. And so the third house, with the Sun transiting this house, this nakshatra, this is a good time for you to actually use your own efforts to seek deep, to seek hidden knowledge, it could be occult knowledge, but this is a very good time to use your efforts in that way, because the Sun is going to be lighting up this house. It's going to be lighting up this nakshatra. And so in your case, it's the third house. Now, because it's also a house of communication, and because the Sun rules the 11th house, there may also come up, certain things may come up in relation to your friends through communication. There may be things that were hidden, things that are coming up because Sun's now lighting up this house. So there may be some secret things that maybe have been going on, or secret information that may suddenly come up now regarding your friends. And because this nakshatra has the Shakti is the power to destroy, this information that may come up regarding your your friends or people in your network or whatnot may have it may have the power to maybe cause some dissatisfaction among your friends, or between you and your friends, or it may cause some getting to the root of the matter may bring some things that may cause disappointments. But don't let this get to don't let it get to you. Don't let it become big. It's just things might come up that were hidden beneath the surface, but don't let that ruin your friendships. Don't let it ruin your networking with people, with other people, even people that are part of your business, or Don't let these things come up. Mula might bring certain things up to the surface that are not necessarily pleasant, but don't let that get to you. Venus is going to be transiting your third house right from December 5th until December 29th. So for most of the month of December, Venus is going to be transiting here. Venus rules your first and your eighth house. Now, Venus is going to be in the nakshatra of Mula until the 16th of December. So there's that eighth house theme again. Eighth lord transiting the nakshatra of Mula, which has a deep affinity with the eighth house, with the root, with getting to the core of the matter, getting beneath the surface of things. So that theme is going to pretty much be playing itself out throughout most of the month of December for you, but it's going to be expressing itself in a positive way. There's going to be positive transformation, positive psychic transformation, positive psychological, positive emotional, because Venus rules your first house. So there's definitely going to be a transformation, possibly regarding your self-image, as a result of deep rooted knowledge coming up, consciousness. It's going to expand these areas of your life. The sun will bring light to these areas of your life, and Venus will also be giving its energy to that. Now, and then Venus is going to be moving into the nakshatra of Purva Ashada on the 16th of December. In Purva Ashada, the meaning of this nakshatra is the former undefeated. And the Shakti is the power to invigorate or energize. So now you have an eighth lord planet moving into the nakshatra of Purva Ashada. Eighth house matters are going to become invigorating and energizing. Now, what this tells me is that there's going to be a lot of sexual energy for you the second half of the month. Venus is a planet of relationships, love, attraction. It has sexual energy. The eighth house is a sexual energy house. It's Venus ruling the eighth house makes this an even sexier planet for you in particular. And then Purva Ashada is connected also in that way, because Purva Ashada, the desire of this nakshatra is to gain the ocean at one's wish. So the desire is to gain the ocean when one desires it and to have it immediately. And so this nakshatra is connected with water, with the ocean. And water, the ocean, has a connection with creativity. So because Venus also rules creativity as well, artistic pursuits, musical or art or drama, the third house has to do with drama as well, with acting. That's another way in which it could play itself out, where because the third house has to do with one's own efforts and our hands, applying our hands to that. So one of the ways in which this will be energized, because Purva Ashada has to do with invigorating and energizing, is through artistic or creative pursuits. But it could also take the form of expressing itself in a sexual way. There's definitely going to be a lot of flirting, flirtatious energy, a lot of passion, a lot of drive, a lot of desires coming to the surface the second half of the month for you. Purva Ashada is going to be energizing and invigorating the planet Venus, which is the eighth lord of passion, of even, the eighth house also has to do with secret relationships and secret things. So, you may find yourself the object of a lot of attention, a lot of attraction. People are going to be probably giving you, many compliments and hitting on you and things like that. If you're already in a relationship, it may not be the best thing for your partner to go through, but energy is just going to be showing itself. If you're already in a relationship, you could take all this energy happening for you, this passion, this sexual, sensual energy, and use it. You could use it creatively with your partner. You could take advantage of that. Now, Mars is going to be transiting your 4th house, Capricorn, throughout all of the month of December. And Mars is going to be exalted in this house. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. And the beginning of the month until December 9th, Mars is going to be transiting the nakshatra of Uttara Ashada. And the meaning of this nakshatra is the latter undefeated. The previous nakshatra, Purva Ashada, means the former undefeated, and this one is the latter undefeated. Now, the Shakti of this nakshatra is the power to give unstoppable victory. And so in your case, for the right at the beginning of the month, Mars is going to be aspecting your 10th house, receiving the aspect of Jupiter from the 10th house. Saturn is aspecting Capricorn as well, and Saturn rules Capricorn. And so there's going to be this 4-10 theme playing out for you. First of all, in your home, if in real estate, if you're working in real estate, or if you're Mars is a mechanical planet, so getting work done at home is one of the things. But if you're in real estate, things may pick up for you during this time. Things may be going very well for you. Or another way in which this could present itself is through career, because Mars is going to be aspecting your 10th house of work, of career, and with the aspect, there's going to be unstoppable victory for you through competition. Mars represents aggression and competition and ambitious energy, and all that will be directed in a very positive and a very beneficial way for you in regards to work. And then after Mars leaves the nakshatra of Uttara Ashada, then Mars is going to be entering the nakshatra of Shravana. And the meaning of this nakshatra is the ear. And the power is, the Shakti is the power to connect. So now Mars being in the nakshatra of Shravana, because the meaning is the ear, there's a very communicative quality to this nakshatra. Communication is one of its strong points, especially if there's a strong planet in this nakshatra. It gives strength to communication. So that's another factor, adding confluence to what we were already discussing with the Sun transiting your 2nd house of verbal communication. And Mars at the same time is going to be transiting this nakshatra in your 4th house. And Mars rules your 2nd house. He rules the house regarding verbal speech. And Mars rules your 7th house of business associations, of business in general, of partnerships. So one of the things that you may be seeing after the 9th of December when Mars is in Shravana is that there may be an increase in communication. And because Shravana means the ear, and one of the things that's going to be very helpful for you is listening to others, connecting with others, because the Shakti is the power to connect. So connecting with others through communication, through listening to others, connecting with them in that way, it's going to benefit your work as well because of the aspect of on the 10th house of career. So December is going to be a good month for you in general for getting to the root of the matter of things, for passion and chemistry and relationships, and as well as career and work. This is going to all play out in a very favorable way for you throughout the month of December. Well, Libra, this was your Vedic Astrology forecast for December 2014. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for additional forecasts and don't forget to subscribe.